Welcome back, everybody, to our monthly energy forecast for October 22. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm an energy healer, energy coach, and professional trainer. And I am walking you through the energetic aspects of each month here on my YouTube channel. And this month will blow your mind. So listen to me explaining the different aspects that you need to heed here in October if you are energetically sensitive. If you are not energetically sensitive, which I doubt because otherwise you wouldn't be listening here, you might not see those things unfolding in front of you. So bear in mind that this is illuminating the energetic aspects, which is mostly interesting for those of you who are already feeling them. Now, the main task for all of us here in October is self-mastery. And as you have noticed, we have already been working on this. This is like me seeing this coming on, and as a coach, as a trainer, it's obviously my job to prepare you for things and to teach you the tools that can allow you to experience yourself in your own growth. And that said, mostly really all about breaking through the old crusty patterns, some of which are, beyond this lifetime, so karmic, but really, really strong sort of impulse to step up, yeah, for you to realize why it is so important, and more so that you actually have the power to do that. So I want to let you know that as a coach, it's my job to motivate you, to nudge, to give you this nudge, okay, to do this, all right, to wanting, I mean, obviously I can't make you want growth, but to show you ways that can allow you to see that you are capable, that you are able to do this, all right? So I want you to know that the strictness or sort of down to earthness in my words is not because I'm harsh or anything like that. It's really the energy of October that literally smacks you in the face with the stuff that most of you already know. Therefore, I will focus on trying to show you how important it is now. Okay, so with all the stuff that is going on in October, guys, yeah, there's sort of a bunch of themes. Yeah, it's a very, very active, very eventful month, and this isn't going to stop. But here we see very, very clear events that are paving the way for something even bigger in November, and this will continue until January. Then we'll feel a little bit of a breather, and then in March, the resolution or the harvesting, if you will, of what these seeds were that we are putting in now, especially here around the new moon solar eclipse during the end of the month, the October 25th. Very, very big sort of pivotal point energetically, a complete new beginnings, very impactful for our collective. And as a consequence of that, the days following after that, so the last days of the month of October, are going to be very, very tricky, very chaotic, and leading into November. So November 5th, November 8th, guys, those are all dates that you can already mark on your calendars. Those are not the kind of dates here, anything from October 25th to November 8th. There's a lot that is going to go on in that time. So we have a good 3-4 weeks now to prepare ourselves. And it's not that you guys are unaware of these things. So I know that in some regards, I'm actually preaching to the choir. But sometimes there is sort of the lack of context. Yeah, and here we really have to recognize now the sincerity of it. Some of you have been following me for years, for a decade, perhaps even, and I can really say now that everything that I have been writing about, that I have been putting out in the last 15 years, is about this time right now. It seemed so outlandish, even just a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, when I said the new trends of the 2020s are going to be home, safety, security, food supply. Okay, and here we are. Okay, so I want you to understand that, and you can feel that, you know, I feel conflict in myself because I have a lot of compassion for our conditions and circumstances, and I know where all of you are coming from. I know the growth that you have already undertaken and how far you've come, and I don't want you to see this as authoritarian or paternal critical inner voice that I am presenting you with. I want you to understand that all the things that you have been feeling within yourself all along, yeah, now is the time. It's the time to come out of the woodwork, guys. And for that purpose, I'm going to put in a special Heart Warrior Challenge. Yeah, this is free for all the Heart Warriors and will be open for others. It's a 14-day daily task intensive. Very excited about this because it's really important that we step out of our own sort of marinade. Okay, yeah, so for October, you guys need to have this, you know, established as a routine for yourself. Yeah, like a daily routine to meditate, or, you know, to use the energy alignments or the sacred self-healing meditations, whichever one it is. You know, some of you can just use the metronome, or just, you know, walk in nature. It doesn't matter how you get there. Okay, what I want to do this month is to really, really challenge you in breaking through some of these old patterns. Yeah, perhaps you've seen the article that I posted, and that's going to be the question here for us. The tools are these self-mastery tools that we are learning here, and you guys have been really wonderful with participating and allowing yourself to grow beyond your ego. But it's getting serious now. Yeah. So through discerning, I can learn to freely choose. Remember, without discernment, without truth, there cannot be freedom. You're not free if you're not in truth. When are you not in truth? You're not in truth when you're in your ego, when you're in your fear, when you're in your anger, when you're in your pride, when you're in your guilt. As simple as that. Through trusting, what we've worked on last month, I learned to love. Now, love in this energetic spiritual sense is not just about romantic love. It stands for self-love, and it stands for expansion, for abundance, for beauty, for healing. Yeah. So through loving, I learned to self-heal. And through self-heal, yeah, again here, self-healing doesn't just stand for mending what is broken or fix what is imperfect. No, it is a metaphor for growth, for evolution. Through healing, I can learn to grow. And this is really important that we understand this, because growth, just like how you can see it in nature, has a lot to do with this cycle of destruction and renewal. It has a lot to do with, you know, allowing ourselves to self-correct, to let go, to clear things out so that there is space for something new. So through growing, that's the big sort of spiritual realization for this month. I serve the highest good for all. So it's not just about ourselves. It's not just about this sort of individualism, yeah, the self-gain, and, you know, maximizing your own profits or your own outcomes. It's about recognizing that you are part of a bigger whole, and that it is possible to develop yourself as individual within the whole, within unity, within union with others. So here, the more spiritual interpretation of that, self-mastery is the process of resolving and absolving yourself from a lifelong journey of suffering / karma and blindly seeking purpose through others / externalizing your power. Now, the time has come to take charge of your true purpose. Know your energy, be present in your heart, become responsible for everything you put out into this world, and own your journey. In this way, you're not only transcending your past, but also your future, and thus create your own destiny. That's almost like a mantra for code breaking. Yeah, that's what code breaking means. So again, here the main question for all of you in October is, are you an active code breaker or karmic repeater? Yeah, and the energetic resonance that can help us through this process here in October is destiny. And destiny, from a metaphysical standpoint, is linked to a bunch of stuff like free will and retrocausality and karma and syntropy, all sort of scientific words that describe really the mechanics of manifestation, yeah, on this sort of deeper consciousness level, not on this the secret law of attraction level. Destiny is based on the energetic quality of their thoughts, emotions, words, actions, choices, and habits this person expresses. Yeah, this is a bit scary, isn't it? Our destiny is not carved in stone, guys. Our destiny is the consequence of every little choice in the now. And the more unconscious our choices, the more karmic destiny, so to speak, we co-create. This is the truth that you can discover when you begin your journey as self-master. You begin to realize that what it is that you're experiencing in the now is the consequence of, all your thoughts and your feelings and, the things that you expressed or didn't express. And that's a good message in a way, because you can realize that if you change that, if you become more conscious and more active in that, in the present moment, then you can change your destiny. That's the main message of this, guys. Just because things have been in the way they were doesn't mean that they have to continue being that way. So for that, you need to watch your thoughts, for they become words. You need to watch your words, for they become your actions. Yeah, and with the words, I'm obviously also referring to the inner voice, the inner words, especially the critical inner voice and negativity, the negative self-talk, especially that one. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Yeah, that's because of your ego. Watch your habits because they become your character. Your character is what you identify with, guys. Consciously or unconsciously, but whatever it is that you identify with, yeah, if you identify with your degrading thoughts, then that is who you become. And watch your character, because for it becomes your destiny. That's Lao Tzu, by the way, not me. Yeah, so the month of October is about karma and consequence. Yeah, there's big new cycles that can be started now, and therefore give us a wonderful opportunity to experience ourselves as code breakers. And this has to do with these syntropy and retrocausality mechanisms that I will report about as we go. There's some YouTube videos, important dates here. I can say them to you. There's a really nice positive aspect here. In this first week of October, things will move forward. You will feel this. It will feel much more active. You feel more harmony within yourself. It's a lot easier to bring things into balance. But you still have to review, because you are in all of you are in the process of making bigger decisions now. That's just the sign of times. Yeah, so you're gonna have to watch your financial decisions right now. You're gonna have to watch where you are living, what people you are living with or working with. Yeah, there can be still delays, yeah, in your career, or in the communication about that. So I know that some of you are in that kind of phase where you're trying to make a career change or change something within your career. So the first week is not really going to bring a resolution yet, but it actually feels like at least it's moving forward, and there's a bunch of stuff that is coming forward. Also your own shadow. Yeah, so some of that throughout October has to do with you accepting your own inner darkness and your ego's payoff. Yeah, but then comes a really, really cool time around the full moon energy. So that's October 9th till 12th. These 3-4 days they're very big for all of us. It's very important that you engage. So there will be quite intense, actually, and collectively there will be stuff that will go through the collective like a wave, mostly in regards to COVID. You'll see some countries actually loosening finally their mandates, and you'll see some other countries increasing their mandates again, and this will feel like a Groundhog Day. And at the same time, guys, and this will really upset a lot of people, that's why it's actually positive, because it's coming out. It's actually creating, a momentum that finally allows us to work with it. Yeah, it's coming out. How bad these mRNA vaccines, how bad they really were, and this is going to continue. So here, a message to all of you who got vaccinated. This is not the time to give up or get avoidant about this kind of information. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do, but you're gonna have to take this seriously. Yeah, so there is a lot, guys. I've continued reading the research and just simply stopped posting it, because for as long as this isn't coming out here in mainstream media, there's no point. The science is there. Everything that I predicted is coming true, and it's really, really dark. Okay, but there's also a lot of things that can be done, and that's why for me this is a good thing, because we can start thinking forward. We can start going into like, okay, then what can we do? And this will bring a lot of new research, a lot of new science, a lot of new inventions, I want to say. So this is a good thing. So for us, this is the time where we really want to think forward now. Yeah, and it's plan ahead. Okay, yeah, this time from the 9th to the 12th of October. Then there'll be a little bit of collective rumble. Yeah, we'll also have a little bit of sort of issues with like idealism and conspiracy theories. So the balance is still the overall theme, and we're going to see a lot of really freakish I don't know, I want to call them religious codes and stuff. Where people really go into this conspiracy like a religion. Yeah, so we're going to have to be careful here to differentiate and also recognize that New Age isn't necessarily the same as what we are talking about here. So while I will tell some of you to engage more with some of those spiritual subjects, yeah, others may have to let go of some of these old beliefs or mindsets that have formed, maybe in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So it's all about us growing into our power, realizing that we have the power to change our fate, to manifest our destiny, but without the specialness. So that's kind of like the tricky part, and collectively that's not going to go over well. All right, so we're going to have some days here. I want to say until the 22nd of October, 22nd of October, that will bring up a lot of diplomacy gone wrong. The war in the Ukraine still escalating, guys. So there is still a really important need to communicate, to express ourselves truthfully in our personal journeys, and to see the bigger picture a little bit. So watch what you're putting out there, what you're communicating, what you're posting on social media and so forth. The overall tendency is to go into resolution, but you know how this goes. In order to resolve a conflict, you actually have to talk about it. You actually have to address it. And that means we have to give up our payoff. And the sort of the coping that we've invested in, to not address it. Then here around the solar eclipse, new moon, 23rd till 25th, really, really big pivotal time I mentioned in the beginning. It's all about independence and individuation, but also the balancing act of not going into isolation or specialness. So we have to realize that as a collective, the only way to grow is to give up our ego payoff, even, if you will, an economy, the profit and so forth. So obviously we don't want socialism or communism either. So we have to find that middle ground there. That's what the bigger growth sort of task is. And at the end of the month, I already mentioned there is a lot of stuff going on. So I want you to build a really good foundation in the first 3 weeks so that you are grounded, so that you know how to stay in a higher vibratory place, or at least catch it faster, so that you get not swept away by that wave that is coming here through the collective. From my perspective, the 4 main aspects of October for each of you have to do with your physical health. They have to do with creating better manifestation conditions. This has to do with toxicity and conduciveness, energy management, also how to protect your energy, but also in 3D, how to protect your home, how to feel safe in your home. Communication and expression, I've mentioned that it's the coming out of the woodwork and really being more congruent in your expression. And then lastly, understanding how all this works, how all this is connected with another. A lot of times what triggers things is the stuff that we don't do or that we don't say. And that then compounds in us. It starts blocking our energy. So it's not always like how bad we are and how, what we did and what we said. No, it's a lot of times it's what we don't say, what we don't do. Yeah, so you see, guys, the main opportunity here for October is to break through some karmic stuff, or to experience yourself as karmic self-healer. That's a really powerful kind of thing that you can discover about yourself, because so many of us feel like because our past was like this, or because we come from this or this family or this tribe or ethnicity or whatever, we don't have another choice, a different choice. It's not true. We have to experience ourselves as an active code breaker, and then we realize how much time or how much energy we wasted in, the same old. Okay, now sometimes we need a couple of rounds, going through the same old, and then it just becomes a matter of like when the pain gets bad enough for us to voluntarily wanting to change something. But if you've been around the corner a few times already, then maybe it's also a good opportunity for you to see that you don't need another round. There aren't going to be any other outcomes. Yeah. So it's also okay to just let go and say, no, I claim, to experience a new sort of karmic upgrade. Yeah, this brings a lot more clarity into your life if you step into your destiny, as opposed to just sitting there and letting it happen to you and try to survive it. Yeah. Can you see how that leads all of us to externalizing our powers? So the main opportunities in October are really experiencing that and gaining some cool clarity, because the last 2 weeks were kind of brain foggy. Yeah. I'm sure you guys have experienced this in one way or another, and that always creates these fear clouds. Yeah, so it triggers our ADHD, our distractiveness, our anxiousness. Yeah, so ADD, ADHD are a link to our fear responses. That's our ego coping. Yeah, we're trying to try to control everything. Okay, and you got to understand that a lot of times that has to do with what you expose yourself to. So a karmic self-healer can also be somebody who focuses on changing the manifestation conditions, who just literally changes the terrain, no longer exposes him or herself to the toxicity or the negative influences that are coming in from the outside that keep triggering fear. Yeah, often that requires us to show up with better boundaries. And the better boundaries is like a ladder you climb up. You every time you set a more clear boundary, you're going to experience yourself as more powerful in your own agency, and this will then allow you to trust in yourself more. And the trust in yourself will then bring more peace. So the opportunity here really is to overcome these continual schisms that we are so used to, these cognitive dissonances. Yeah, because ultimately, this is where all our coping comes from. Yeah, the ego says, oh, this is uncomfortable. I want peace. And so whatever the coping is for you, and we all have multiple coping strategies, is ultimately there for the purpose of creating more peace. The problem with ego coping is that it doesn't actually bring sustainable peace. Yeah, it's only temporary or very short term, or it actually allows more toxicity in our life because, for example, we didn't say what we needed to say, or we didn't set a clear boundary. Yeah, and this is where you're shooting yourself in the foot and feed the cognitive dissonance in you again. So this is from last month's here, higher power of self-healing. What is that actually? All sicknesses is part of the invocation. All sicknesses of the human soul are essentially the pain of not trusting in the love that the divine has for you, and therefore I consciously choose to refuse a reality. I consciously choose to refuse a reality without this life-giving love / expansion / empowerment / growth at the center of it. If what a person, a job, a place, a house provides for me is not part of this life-giving love, yeah, it's not sustaining and conducive for you, it probably needs to go. Yeah, because there's lots of outer challenges that we're going to run into here in the next 6 months, depending on where we live in the world. Yeah, here in the United States, I said this before, it's going to take a little longer, and then to get there, and then also take a little longer to unravel. In Europe and Australia, Canada, it's going to go faster. and a little more steep. Okay, but you guys are going to be through with all of this transformation business within the next 2 years. Yeah, so a year and a half, okay, for you guys. For us here in the United States, it takes a little longer, till 26, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, this sounds kind of bad, but letting go is a big part of October energy, to make space for something new that is more conducive, that is more, sustaining for us. Yeah. So code breaking can sometimes come with a huge, big challenge. Because if it wasn't challenging, we would have done it a long time ago. Okay. Yeah. And it often comes with a harsh truth, namely to realize what our own sort of ego's payoff was, what we got out of it, the secondary self-gain, even though it wasn't really that comfy all along. Okay, but there is still a part, like, for example, not facing something that is a payoff. Yeah, maybe financial stuff, or what other people think, or that's a payoff, because in that moment, for as long as you don't do or don't say what you truly want to do, you don't have to go against outer resistance, but the way it will haunt you is in form of that karmic guilt. So once more, it's about coming out of the woodwork. That's the theme. It's a deeper coming out. Yeah, so you guys see, it's not really that simple. It really depends on your personal situation and energetic makeup. Yeah, so here the way this is affecting us in October in our chakras, home, traveling, safety, security, family. So for some of you, traveling is really, really good in October, because it allows you to grow beyond your old sort of boundaries and explore new things, and it will inspire you and bring exactly the codes that you need, to see a bigger world, say. But for some of you, it's the opposite. You need to take care of your home. You need to make sure that your home is sustainable, that it is, your cave, that it's the place where you can replenish. And if it doesn't, okay, then maybe it's a time to change that. Yeah. Also, do you feel safe in your relationship? Do you feel safe in the area that you live in? Stuff like that. Yeah. That's the biggest theme overall here, the first chakra. There's also something that I noticed in this session right after, in the beginning. There were two main things that I felt throughout the session today, and that was the ungroundedness. So many of you are very ungrounded. Your first chakra is completely like, smushed. Okay. Yeah, and we need that a lot in October. So it's time to ground, time to anchor, time to, for some of you, it's working with nature more, finally getting out more, and for some of you, it's going home more. Yeah, so it's hard to say. And the second one was the throat chakra. You can feel this as, I even got a raspy voice now, a really suffocating feeling. Yeah, really suffocating. That's the self-expression, coming out of the woodwork, congruence, and sort of really coming out of your shell, expressing your truths more. Yeah, and not getting stuck in apathy. So this first fifth chakra combination can really freeze a person. Yeah, can really trigger apathy. Now, another, and this is a new element here in October that wasn't there in September as much, is sensuality, really connecting with all your senses, with your sense of taste, of smell, of colors, to really sort of, also allow yourself to indulge a little bit in that, yeah, in touch, yeah, and all that, connecting with your sensing more. Yeah, because that will then also help you to find better expressions. So for example, exploration or traveling could also be an exploration into, like, say, learning cooking, a new type of kitchen, you know, that you've never tried before, and allowing your taste buds to expand. Yeah, this would also be considered as expansion. Yeah, to allow yourself to experience new things on this sensual level. Okay. Here, just real quick, the energy tip from me for all of you to work with the map of consciousness. We're going to do this together. For one, you saw my announcement within the Sacred Self-Healing community, because I'm now focusing on relaunching the new platform and, you know, sort of shift my focus to the Sacred Self-Healing course again, and also obviously because I am starting the new energy coding class, level 1. Yeah, a big reminder here for all of you who have done the energy course, it's 50% off, and for all of you who have been to Iceland as well. Yeah, and for some of you who have not done the energy course, this is also restarting here in October. So there is a lot about energy management and the connection to our manifestation. You know, looking into the energetic quality of our choices that needs to be trained. It needs to be trained. It's not that you don't understand it, it's that you don't do it. Okay. Yeah, so bunch of self-healing opportunities here. Yeah, stop believing in your ego mind is probably the best advice that I can give to you. Yeah, stop identifying with your thoughts, guys. There is too much mind control out there. You could just going to get pulled into fear, negativity. It allows you to, you know, really discover your own self-healing powers. Yes. So don't underestimate the power of exploring as a connection tool. It will also be very practical because it allows you to deal with those intensities a little better. Be a very strict self-lover. Yeah, you could hear this in the readings. Yeah, just because you're doing something for yourself doesn't mean it's against others. Clear boundaries, guys. The promise to your divine self, to your higher self and the divine, is more important than commitments in 3D. I can't even say this in a simpler way. Claim your source of power. Now, for some of you, it's stepping into femininity. For the guys amongst you, it's a bit more stepping into your masculinity. Yeah, feel the healthier versions of that. Let go of what degrades you. Yeah, in general, including your critical inner voice. Focus on expansion and trust in your heart. Those are the self-healing opportunities. The challenges, we went through them. Yeah. Not wanting to let go, apathy, hanging on to the old familiar, karmic binds, self-authority versus powerlessness. Sorry for the siren. Increasing intensity and health, energy, and money systems are collapsing, guys, and new are created right now. So it's not the end of the world, okay? But there is a challenge for all of you guys who have been vaccinated. Obviously, the fewer shots you had, the easier it will be for you to detox it. So please don't give up on yourself here. The opportunities are vast, yeah, breaking through, but letting go, coming out of the woodwork. Big one. That's why we have the Hard Warrior Challenge this month, and deeper spiritual connection, realizing the power of your past. Because there's a reason why you had to go through all of this, and that will also help you to identify and recognize purpose. Yeah, guys, and just a quick last note here in regards to the marathon. As many of you know, we're preparing for a hurricane. I will cancel the marathon here for this week, the Grace Recovery Marathon. If you bought a ticket, I'm going to refund it to you. We will, or you can also choose, we will do Grace Recovery sessions in October, but it is too much for me and wouldn't be self-sustaining if I do a marathon in the middle of literally needing to protect my family and my pets and my home. So guys, I hope you understand all this. And then we're going to see what the world is like in Florida after the hurricane. Okay, everyone. I love you guys. Wishing you happy karmic code breaking. Okay. See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye. I'm wishing you a wonderful October. Thank you for listening in. Subscribe to my channel and to my email list so that you can download the monthly energy alignment meditation that I create just for you. See you soon. Bye-bye. Destiny. To love and peace within, I dedicate myself. I am one with my higher self, the part in me that is unchanging, eternal, and infinite. I embrace change as evolutionary path of my being and trust in my higher self to guide me through this 3D ego reality. I embrace all experiences as learning experiences and feel nothing but gratitude for any opportunity to grow. When I follow the path of my heart, the gateway to my higher thinking and perceiving, my destination is crystal clear. Because, as energetic being of light and love, my destiny is to become one with the divine in me. I need not to worry. I need not to judge. Because everything that was or will be is already inside of me. Through discerning, I learn to freely choose. Through trusting, I learn to love. Through loving, I learn to self-heal. Through healing, I learn to grow. And through growing, I serve the highest good of all. Whenever I dismiss my inner guidance out of fear, guilt, pride, anger, or shame, I am feeding negativity and self-deception that is preventing me from feeling my true being. But by consciously choosing to focus on the higher power of consciousness working through me as my inner truth, I can clearly experience the limitations of my ego mind and reality and how it distracts me from discerning my own thoughts, emotions, and choices. I realize now that it is my highest destiny to overcome the darkness and loneliness of my inner separation from my true being. I could not see this before. I could not feel this before. For as long as I identified with my mind and thoughts, I could not see myself as active co-creator of my life. But now, as I am choosing to be present with my divine nature more and more, I begin to feel the miraculous power of higher thinking and perceiving of reality. true self. I hear you now. I can feel how every thought, emotion, word or action either strengthens or weakens our connection. I realize that you have always been there, right in the middle, in my sacred heart. To protect and guide me away from the darkness and confusion of ego distractions. I could not feel this until now. With you in my heart, I can learn that there is nothing to fear but the prison of my own distrust in myself that deceives me into believing that I am powerless. When I can remember to listen to you and return your loving guidance for me through following the truth in my heart, I feel empowered, supported, and strong because I know that through trusting in the I am in me, I become the sovereign of my life's experience. Due to the power of this consciousness, I can see how my journey mirrors the evolution of all life. Past lives, ancestors, and future lives, and how I am never alone. I am connected with all who are there on this path, and together we trust in one another. I know this now. Help me to remember this when I am low and lonely. Fill me with faith that gives me the clarity, courage, and determination to trust in my true destiny. Thank you. I humbly recognize how all sicknesses of the human soul are essentially the pain of not trusting in the love the divine has for us. And therefore, consciously choose to refuse a reality without this life-giving love at the center of it. In my heart, I know that love and forgiveness can raise me above my fear and negativity, always. Through the power of this higher knowing, I herewith clear all attachments, limitations, energetic ties, and karmic binds in any dimension or time to any person, entity, or ego illusion. I let go of all fixations, gluttony, and greed, and refrain from seeing myself or the world as untrustworthy. Nothing and no one has the right to violate my trust, integrity, or boundaries. I am not afraid. I trust in my destiny and ability to create miracles because I no longer tolerate or enable life or love degrading energies in or around me. By choosing the path of conscious self-mastery, I know that I can rely on my ability to sense anything or anyone trying to compromise my sense of self and self-love, and relentlessly call out those who want to steal my higher power. I declare my conscious self now and at all times. Higher self, thank you for my energetic sensitivity, as it shows me when I need to stand my ground, when I need to walk away, when I need to clear, self-correct, and when I need to heal. Keep showing me the path to my heart's love and encourage me to embrace and express how I truly feel. I want you to be the only voice of my heart. Speak to me in my dreams. Let me hear this voice that empowers me to trust in my destiny, so that I have the power to overcome the temptations of fear and inner darkness. Show me what to let go of to feel inner peace, and give me the courage to have faith so that I can trust in myself. Now I can truly rest in my heart. As all there is left to do is to live and create my life in love and truth. Thank you.